Don't disturb him. He's just blinking. I mean, look, you are 79 years old, and your doctor says that you're sharper than you've ever been. Yet you fall asleep at meetings, and at 10:15 on a Monday night, the night before you're supposed to fly to Beijing to negotiate the future of the global economy, you log on to your dying social media platform and post 54 times in something like 74 minutes. And what do you post about? About how Barack Obama needs to be arrested for treason. And you sprinkle in, just for good measure, videos of black people allegedly committing crimes. And then you cap it all off Tuesday morning with an AI-generated image of yourself on the $100 bill. So my question for you is, are we A, electing the cognitive equivalent of a Furby that has access to social media, B, watching a 79-year-old man speedrun through every classic symptom of late-stage dementia live on camera, or C, just letting old Whack Donald die in front of us in 4K, rot away, while his allies tell you he's just blinking? Well, this week it was all three. Monday alone, at 11 a.m., the President of the United States of America fell asleep in the Oval Office in front of cameras, surrounded by his cabinet, during an event he was hosting about maternal health. His eyes were glued shut while RFK Jr. yapped behind him about our fertility crisis.
We have reduced maternal mortality by 41.5%, which is truly incredible. And this is compared with the 5.9% decline in benchmark hospitals over the same period of time.
During the earliest years of their children's lives. Second, we are cutting unnecessary red tape that forced providers to close, limited access to care, and made it harder for working families to find the support they needed. We're moving away from one-size-fits-all federal mandates and instead empowering parents to meet their child's unique needs.
The fertility crisis for women began in 2007. For men in 1970, men had twice the sperm count as our teenagers do today.
The White House, their rapid response account on X, which appears to be staffed by a well-adjusted intern that might have an Adderall problem, tweeted, "He was blinking, you absolute moron." I counted, 17 seconds. The man was caught with his eyes shut for 17 straight seconds. That's the level of eye closure I would expect from someone whose great-great-aunt just got escorted to the nursing home's arts and crafts room to play bridge. And by that evening, Trump was in the Rose Garden hosting a Police Week dinner praising Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche. Now again, Blanche used to, or still is, Donald Trump's personal attorney. And the quote out of the president's mouth is this:
"We have a man who's doing a great job, I'll tell you. I knew it, because he kept me out of jail for years. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, he kept me out of jail. They would indict me left and right. The crooked Democrats, it's amazing."
We have a man who is doing a great job. I knew it because he kept me out of jail for years. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche, he kept me out of jail. They would indict me left and right, the crooked Democrats. So in that 20-second span, the President of the United States, in front of cops on camera, announced that his Attorney General kept him out of prison. It was like he was saying, "I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling investigators." By the way, innocent people get acquitted. Innocent people get cleared. Guilty people hire Todd Blanche. That's what happens. I mean, the man stood in front of police officers and explained that the Department of Justice is essentially functioning as his personal alibi service. He literally sounds like a criminal. But Trump wasn't done. Then comes the night. Trump goes back inside and smashes his thumb into the Truth Social button and proceeds to do something that, if it were your aging father, you'd quietly tell your siblings, hey, it's time to take away Dad's phone. And it was 50 plus posts calling for Obama's arrest, calling Obama demonic, and saying, arrest them all, prosecute them all, incarcerate them all for treachery, treason, and seditious conspiracy to overthrow the United States government, but first, Barack Obama. And all that was interspersed with videos of black people suspected of committing crimes. You're posting montages of crimes by race, in between calls to incarcerate the only black president in American history, over a several-hour span. This is the leader of the free world posting and reposting and reposting very, very thinly veiled racist content. Now look, I read a lot, but I am not a doctor. So instead of practicing my own medicine, I read what actual doctors write. And the British Medical Journal on Monday ran an article titled Trump Mental Health, 30 Senior U.S. Doctors Declare President Mentally Unfit. And this isn't some liberal rag. The BMJ has been around since 1840. It's very reputable. And it's a peer-reviewed publication, though this was an editorial. And in this editorial, the pattern that these 30 doctors describe is exactly the pattern we're watching live. Late night posting blitzes, paranoid fixations on enemies from 20 years ago, sundowning behavior, which is the technical term for when dementia patients get agitated and confused as the sun goes down, the day grows long. The recycling of imagery, looping. This man is reposting AI slop that he posted weeks ago and treating it like new content. If he were not the president, he would be somebody whose family should have already taken away the Wi-Fi password. And I will also point out, because I have to, the long-running speculation about stimulant use. And this is all with the tag allegedly, the alleged Adderall in close orbit to Donald Trump, which his own niece, Mary Trump, has written about for years, and former staffers have said to the press. And if you look at it, you've got stimulants in the elderly, and those users produce exactly this pattern. Late night posting binges, hyper-focusing on grievances, paranoia. The body and the brain don't know it's 3 a.m. And yet the White House's response to all of this is to call you a moron because you noticed. And by the way, Donald Trump is not the only thing at issue here that's rotting. The platform he's using, Truth Social, this 79-year-old man performing nightly his nervous breakdown on this platform, Truth Social just reported a $406 million net loss in the first quarter of 2026 alone. $406 million lost in 3 months. They brought in a revenue of $871,000. And one of the things they blame it on is that Trump media bet the farm on crypto. Bitcoin tanked. And now the parent company of Truth Social is essentially a meme stock, and it's bizarrely linked to a thus far failed nuclear company. Weird stuff. But look, if this president, if this man were any other elderly American showing these symptoms, they would have taken away the keys, they would have sat him down, and they would have signed a durable power of attorney. Instead, this man is the man negotiating with foreign leaders, holding the nuclear codes, and rage posting about a man who hasn't been president since 2017. It is scary. And I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think about Trump's late-night Truth Social blitzes.